Hey gang, Uncle B here. I wanted to discuss with you guys the latest rash of the talks of all the boycotts and everything like that. A couple weeks ago, the American Family Association announced that they were going to cancel their 3-year boycott of Home Depot. They boasted having 744,000 people on their petition to boycott Home Depot. Home Depot services 22 million people per week. That amounts to 3.3% of their proposed customer base. On top of that, Home Depot's stock has increased by a factor of 2.7 over the past 3 years. Now, between you and I and the lamppost, I don't consider that quite a successful campaign whatsoever. Next, let's move on to NOM's boycott of Starbucks. The national organization had boasted approximately, 64,818 people on their boycott. Starbucks services 60 million people per week. That amounts to 0.1%. In the interim, Starbucks stock over the past years has enjoyed an increase of 50%. Another successful campaign. Last week, they started having same-sex marriages in the state of Minnesota. There are 3 couples that were married in Minneapolis, and Betty Crocker had donated 3 beautiful cakes to celebrate the occasion. That pissed off Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council. So Tony Perkins, of course, turns around and goes on this missive of this boycott of Betty Crocker. I'm going to have you listen to this while I enjoy some devil's food cake.
At Betty Crocker, the only thing they're mixing up is their priorities. Hello, I'm Tony Perkins with the Family Research Council in Washington. If you ask conservatives, Betty Crocker's latest promotion is a recipe for disaster. This summer, the famous dessert line decided to jump on the same-sex marriage bandwagon and bring cakes to celebrate. In Minnesota, where parent company General Mills is headquartered, Betty Crocker decided to donate wedding cakes to the first homosexual couples who exchanged vows on the first day that counterfeit marriage was legal. Quote, Betty Crocker celebrates all families. We don't want to be old-fashioned, the company explained. Unfortunately for General Mills, the majority of Americans think natural marriage is anything but old-fashioned. And they've made it tough on companies like Target, Starbucks, and J.C. Penney who disagree. Know where your money is going. When you're at the store, think outside the Betty Crocker box.
Wow. You know, gotta hand it to the guy. He tries to be funny. He really does. He sticks all these little insipid puns in there. I don't know who writes them for him, but whoever it does. The last one was a doozy. I mean, when you're outside, when you're at the store, think outside the Betty Crocker box. That is a double entendre that I'm not even going to touch. You guys could go have fun with that one. But as far as their campaign goes, that's all tied in with the National Organization for Marriage. You see, the National Organization for Marriage has the Dump General Mills campaign. Now, currently, to this date, they have a total of 26,545 people that have committed to boycott General Mills. Okay, that's 26,545 people. At 300 million people in the United States, that amounts to 0.009% of the population. Coupled with the fact that General Mills has just released their fiscal report, and they had sales last year to the tune of $17,774,000,000. Quite frankly, Brian Brown, Tony Perkins, guys, I don't know what you think you're trying to accomplish here, because the only thing you're doing is increasing the values of these respective stocks. As an aside, we also had Monica Coles of 1 Million Moms, which is an offshoot of the American Family Association. It's more like 10,000 moms, really. But nonetheless, she got pissed off at the Motorola commercial because they had this personification of a telephone, and it was like this gingered guy laying on a bed, and he's like buzzing. Honey, if that bothered you, just turn the frickin' channel. You know, put on the Discovery Channel and watch something you're used to, like Honey Boo Boo. Nonetheless, until they piss me off the next time, I'm Uncle B.